What's up, people? Aw man, what better way to bring the Ask the Doctor series back to life than a twofer, a double Moab. That's right, people, a broab. I mean, we started this game and the players, they were all low ranked. You know, it looked like easy pickings, and I'm trying to rank up all my guns, get them all gold. So the first part of this game, I'm like, oh man, yeah, I gotta use this bullshit weapon with these bullshit attachments. Finally, about halfway through, D-mich here, he drops his Moab. I'm like, all right, you know, I gotta put my try-hard panties on and see what I can do. And sure enough, as soon as he drops his, I'm on the other side of the map, getting up on my horse, taking out people left and right. But this is an Ask the Doctor series, so how about we start with some questions? And being that E3 is come and gone, it's given us a little bit of time to digest, to think about what happened, you know. And Soup asks, "Hey Doc, what'd you think about this year's E3? Favorite gameplay, trailer, your ups and downs, and what press conference impressed you the most?" Now, as far as E3 as a whole, I think it did okay. I think it did pretty good. It did better than most years, but it definitely didn't blow me out of the water by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I mean, it was good. Definitely my favorite gameplay trailer had to have been Crisis. I cannot understand why this game doesn't have a stronger following than it does. It really is a good game. The visuals are fantastic. The gameplay, it's fun, it's different. I understand a lot of people were kind of let down with number 2 because 1 was such a sandbox game, and 2, it kind of boxed you in a little bit, I guess. But the game's great. I'm real excited for Crisis 3. And of course my down is the fact that Valve came out with nothing. At least nothing of importance. I mean, everything we pretty much knew. They gave us a couple dates, but you know, nothing new, nothing that anybody wanted to hear. As far as the press conferences themselves, like, you know, the big 3, everybody wants to know about the big 3. I'm not even going to talk about Nintendo. I mean, they're an afterthought at this point. But let's talk about Microsoft and Sony, because those are the 2 heavy hitters. All right, and to tackle, you know, Sony and Microsoft, you got to look at it as like a 3-headed monster. First, you got to look back at the hype train before E3 even starts. You have to look at public perception afterwards, and you have to look at, you know, the meat of each company's presentation. And I'm not talking about the extras like, you know, Sony's Wonder Book or any of that bullshit, but like you know, the actual gameplays like Halo 4, The Last of Us, stuff like that. And before E3 even started, I mean, the hype for Sony was so big, and everybody was saying how Sony's just gonna, you know, truck roll through this entire conference. Microsoft's done, you know, Nintendo's done, and Sony's just gonna dominate. And then the actual press, you know, conferences started to happen, and as far as the actual hype goes, you know, Microsoft really built themselves up, and you know, with all their different performances and just the way they presented everything. So if you look at it like that, they actually exceeded expectations. Where as far as hype goes, Sony actually kind of fell behind a little bit. Now, I'm not saying Sony had a bad conference or anything like that. They just didn't have the same presentation value, in the sense that they didn't throw fireworks behind their product. Well, Microsoft, they had the Flash. And the average person, they're going to see something shiny and they're going to go to it. So as far as the public perception, if you stop there, Microsoft won. They exceeded expectations. They built hype at E3. They didn't lose hype. So you'd have to say Microsoft won. But I do believe that when you look at the meat and the potatoes of what they had to offer, like I said, I'm not talking about the bullshit, but the exclusives and what they're going to bring to us in the future. I really think Sony pulled ahead in that aspect. I think The Last of Us is going to be amazing. an amazing game. Halo 4, don't get me wrong, I think Halo 4 is going to be good. Personally, I've never been a big fan of the series, but I'm not gonna knock people that love Halo. I mean, that is Xbox's bread and butter right there. So as a gamer, in my opinion, Sony definitely impressed me more. They showed more exclusive gameplay. They catered definitely more to the gamer instead of just the average consumer that's gonna buy the product as a every other weekend just casual multimedia station. They definitely kept it simple but effective. So moving on to the next question, this one comes from Sharpshooter, and he asks, if you could erase one thing from Modern Warfare 3, what would it be? And he suggested for him it would be support. Now, if I could get rid of anything in Modern Warfare 3, it wouldn't be any weapons or perks or kill streaks or anything like that. It would be the shitty ass code that they wrote for lag compensation. Now, I understand that all these multiplayer games have some sort of lag compensation in it, but whatever they did when they designed Modern Warfare 3, they fucked up because it sucks. I could be on a 4-bar, I get punished. I can be on a 2-bar, I get punished. It doesn't matter. I hate dying when it's not my fault. If somebody outplays me, cool, good for you, dude. But if I die and it's not my fault, it's the game's fault, that's fucked up. Yeah. So anyway, Noel asks, well, says, I would like to hear Freeman's tips on surviving a zombie apocalypse. Or, to put it in question form, Freeman, what are your tips on surviving a zombie apocalypse? Well, first thing is, you want to make friends with the right people. Now, I'm not talking about like the best military guy or something like that, but I'm talking like EMTs. Those guys, they're trained. They see messed up shit every day. They handle stress really well. So as far as like if there's some sort of apocalypse or something like that, they'd be able to handle themselves extremely well. Next, you want a construction worker or two. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later. And another type of person that you might want is a mechanic, because depending on where you're at, you want to move kind of south. So obviously there's going to be vehicles. Vehicles might break down. You might need to hotwire some shit. You're going to need a mechanic. And probably the last type of person that you might want is a hot chick or two. Shit, that's morale. Come on now. So you're going to gather up this, ragtag team of, people that you've gathered, and you're going to start to kind of head south, because if there's an apocalypse, electricity is going to go down, heat's going to go. You're not going to want to be, up in the far north where once winter hits, we're not really set to survive, a long winter now. So you're going to want to go south where it's a little bit warmer. If you're already there, congratulations, you're already set up. Now, once you get down there, you're going to want to collect supplies as you go down. When I say supplies, I'm obviously guns, obviously food, but some other things that you might not think about are medicines and seeds. So when you do finally form a little community, you can actually plant your food and kind of sustain yourself off the land that you're living at. Once you kind of get to where you're going, you're going to want to stay away from, like, obviously the cities, large towns, things like that. You're going to want to find yourself a real nice large plot of land with a lot of sight lines out in the middle of nowhere, and you're going to want to fortify yourself. You're going to want to bring in some vehicles. You're going to want to make trenches. You're going to want to hit up Home Depot so you can build a few walls here and there. And that's really where the construction worker comes in. He's going to be able to help us build that sort of thing, and kind of know what he's doing. Everybody else just kind of fills in where they can, and hopefully you kind of just wait it out. Alright, well, that's going to wrap it up. Sorry I don't really have time to throw a riddle in there, but this has been a Dr. Freeman commentary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace. This video is brought to you by Endeavour Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with what's going on, and the link to our website is in the description below.